When you're applying medium to full coverage foundation and you're all done and you spent all this time and it looks super cakey and overdone and you can tell you're wearing makeup, is that you? If it is, today's video is for you. All right, I need everybody to lock in. Today is a masterclass on how to perfect foundation. We are going all the way through it. So grab your grab your note paper, your pens, your coffee, whatever, and lock in with me and let's go through it. I even wrote notes. I mean, this is how detailed we're getting. We're going old school L tutorials. We need to first set in motion prep of the skin. You need to do your foundation no matter what your skin is, if it's oily, dry, dehydrated, normal, combination, you need to prep your skin. So we want to have the skin to be hydrated, which is going to equal slip and balance in the skin. We don't want to be using too grippy of primers because that's going to give us cakey. And we don't want to, when we're looking for this perfected, look, we don't want to go too overly glowy because that means deterioration or breakdown of product. Now, before we all get up into a tizzy, my favorite is a good skin tint, glowy skin. But if we're looking for perfected skin that has a little more lasting power, we're gonna wanna go with more of a medium to full coverage that has a satin finish to it or a normal skin finish. You could even go slightly matte, but I think the sweet spot is satin or a normal skin finish. I'm old school. I don't believe in primers. It's just, I've been doing makeup forever as a makeup artist, over 15 years. I used to be a celebrity-based makeup artist, and it's just not something that we did. So if you have a favorite primer, go for it. But usually great skin prep starts with great skincare. I'm gonna do one half of my face though with an illuminizing step. I wouldn't call this necessarily a primer. It's just an illuminizer. And then the other side, which will be this side, and it won't have any illuminizer or any kind of extra prep except for skincare and SPF. So we are going to go in again with Typology's Vitamin C Illuminizer. When we're talking about more mature aging skin, I do love to use a little bit of an illuminizer under the skin. But it also is beneficial to note that we're not going to pull it, or I don't usually like to pull it on the nose. It has a tendency to break down in those areas, and so it's less perfected looking and the wear isn't amazing. Item 2 that we need to cover is coverage. Layers is what we want to do. We want to not slap on a ton of product to start with. We want to go in layers. We want to layer in the places that we have a little bit more imperfection and layer less in areas that we have less imperfections. That's usually around the outside perimeter of our face. For me, my imperfections, which are totally fine, are right here and a little bit on my forehead. So I will focus more of my coverage in those areas. You do this for yourself, whatever those areas are for you. Also, when we talk about coverage, there's a caveat here. I want to encourage you to have the cleanest coverage, the cleanest application is to have your skin dermaplaned. Dermaplane is removing the vellus hair, the kind of peach fuzz on our hair. Some people like to have it removed, some people don't, but from my experience, the best way to have that coverage lay appropriately is to have less barrier to entry. So the peach fuzz is going to kind of give that barrier to entry. It's going to add an extra layer onto that foundation. If you like it, if you think it diffuses things, go for it. But in my humble opinion, dermaplane skin is the best for a perfected foundation look. Okay. Hands are going to be the most coverage and the heaviest coverage. A brush is going to be your medium to heavy coverage, and your sponge is going to be your light to medium coverage. And it's going to be up to your skill ability and also kind of what you're looking for. I use a combination of both. I use a combination of a brush and a sponge. All right, we're gonna get into it. Do you have your foundations with you, your brushes, your tools? It's time to use them. I'm going with a foundation that I already know I love and works super well. That's gonna be the first step, is making sure you find a foundation that you know works really well. My all-time favorite, holy grail, one of them is the Lisa Eldridge foundation. I know she has a new one and I need to get that. All right, so I work on the back of my hand. It's just the way that I've worked because of what I used to do. So you do you. I'm gonna take a brush, this is the Lawless foundation brush. I like brushes that are more dense. They have a little bit of a kabuki flair to them, but they're smaller, they're denser, and they have a great little kind of soft head so that you can blend. I'm gonna start with the 2-zone face method, which means is most of the coverage is gonna be in the center of the face, feathering out to the outside perimeter of the face. If you start applying more coverage around the edges of the face, it's going to look more mask-like. So we want to kind of make sure we build up the coverage in the center of the face and blend that out. So that is what we're going to do. I am pushing this foundation into the brush. My pressure is kind of light, and I'm pushing it into the back of my hand. Use a palette, whatever you have. This is what we call loading the brush. And we're going to start by stippling this product in. Stipple, stipple, stipple. And again, layers, layers, guys. Don't go in full ham, full coverage on this first swipe. We're just stippling up and down onto the skin. If you have areas of the face that tend to crease after foundation, I encourage you to try to put a little bit of translucent powder, maybe right here, maybe in your 11s. So you're just gonna tap on a little translucent, just a tiny bit with your finger, and then you can apply your foundation over it. It'll help with that creasing. So do you see how I'm continuously moving that brush and moving that coverage all around the face? We're going to just take whatever's left on that brush and work it to the outside and under the chin. This is where a perfect match on your foundation is going to be essential. Now you've noticed I have skipped above my lip. For me, that is an area that looks heavy. So I'm going to just take the remnants of whatever's on my brush and just gently go around that area. So I'm super happy with the way that this looks. Wait till you see this trick. All right, this is an old makeup artist trick that I was taught when I first started learning makeup to be a makeup artist. Take a Kleenex. It usually has 2 ply. You want to take just one of the plies, and if you feel like even at this point your foundation is super heavy, take the Kleenex, lay it over the face, and you can gently press. If you have a puff, you can use a puff. I just go like this, especially focus in the lines of your face. Oil blotting sheets would not work for this. I like Kleenex. And then what this does is it softens the foundation. It takes a little excess off and also the oil off. All right, so let's finish up this foundation before we move on to what I call micro powder application. So we're gonna take, for me, a beauty blender. I'm going to roll this on the outside of the face. And what this is gonna do is it's going to soften those lines. I'll go above my lip a little bit. I love sharing tips and tricks with you guys. So comment below and let me know if there's other areas or tricks that you want me to teach you, because this was the main reason why I got on YouTube over 13 years ago. All right, let's talk about our micro powder setting technique. So I like to say where it glows, let it go. So no powder, you can remember that. And where it folds, you can put powder on. I didn't have a fun saying for that, but where it glows, let it go. Where it folds, let's put some powder on it. Now, I know if you follow me for a long time, I don't love setting powders. They have not been my favorite. La Mer's, the powder that was discontinued a long time ago, the original formula, was really the only one I carried in my kit and I used for myself. They don't carry it anymore. So list your favorite down below. But what I like to use is the Hourglass finishing powder. This is not usually what it's for, but we do it this way. So I love the BK Beauty Brush 113 for the powder. You do not need a whole big powder brush. Use a small detailing brush that is the right size for your face. This usually is the universal size for most people. And I'm going to press around my nose. Do not swipe, press around my nose. But if you like a pressed powder or a loose powder, the same rules apply. So just use them as you normally would, but use it in this technique. And then right here in the center of my face. And then I'm gonna use it just a little bit right here, since this is where the more of the coverage was. I really want to impress upon you that the lighting has not changed. I've stayed in the place this whole time. It is exactly how it is in real life. There's no filters on my camera, etc. So this is absolutely achievable, 100%. Before I leave you with a look that is in this vein, I have a tendency that I've already set and, kind of perfected the actual foundation. I have a tendency to stick more with powder products for the rest of the face, but You know, my go-to are, you know, Kosas makes beautiful baked powders, blushes, etc. So does, of course, Hourglass. They're the goat on these types of powders, but I have a tendency to use more powders over this look so that we're not messing things around. We're not moving things around. We're not, you know, dragging cream products over the cheeks, etc. So for me, I will use powder products for bronzer, contour, and blush. All right, so here the makeup is all finished. Nothing is different except for what we just talked about with using the powder products on the cheeks. My face is perfected and it feels still really light and wearable. So let me know how this goes for you. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Lots of love from me to you. Bye, loves.